Blog Talk Radio.
F-A-T-C-A-T. Man, y'all rockin' a Fat Cat show. This is my show. F-A-T. Watch the time on you. Say it one more time. F-A-T-C-A-T. Man, y'all rockin' a Fat Cat show. This is my show. F-A-T. Watch the time on you. Here we go. No matter what you say, I'ma spit it how I spit it, so you niggas can't forget it. Everybody is a critic. I walk in the dark with my chronicles written, with my game up the bar, so your girl will let me hit it. Damn, man, my show's simply marvelous. You can stop the hating and debating, you can't argue this. Cause if you found something better, you would sip Moretta while wearing an ugly sweater. But my show you listening, so stop the whimpering. This is for the sinners and the born again Christians. Turn to Philippians. Nope, you can miss me then. If you wanna talk, take my number, you can hit me then. Cause you know my show was rocking. Fat Cat, remember that when your girl is shocking. When them headphones are knocking. Fat Cat show and you don't stop the knocking. F-A-T-C-A-T. Man, y'all rockin' a Fat Cat show. This is my show. F-A-T. Watch the time on you. Say it one more time. F-A-T-C-A-T. Man, y'all rockin' a Fat Cat show. This is my show. F-A-T. Watch the time on you. Here we go. Yo. What's cracking? You rockin' with your boy, the thinking deacon, the sinister minister, the preacher's grandson, the rabbi of Raymond Noodle, the chaplain of fried chicken's last rites. Y'all know what's up. That's Fat Cat, and I'm down with my dog, Roof. Y'all know who it is. That's T Satellite. But Bills, what's cracking?
What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, but like we do before every show, every show, we want to give our first our birthday shout outs. This one is real very, very personal to me, because on the 28th was my grandfather's birthday. You know, may rest in peace. And yesterday, the 29th, was my wife's birthday, the mean queen. So we want to thank you. And so everything was wonderful. My wife enjoyed her day, and we want to wish everybody that had birthdays and this month a happy birthday. And so,
how old did your wife turn?
The big 4-0.
Oh, you telling people's age?
The big 4-0. She was saying it though. Surprisingly, she wasn't. She's the only one that would admit her age. The only woman that I seen that would admit to her age. So it was, you know. But one more thing that I want to shout out to is people that have lost people. We want to give our condolences to those that are dealing with grief. You know, of course, people are still passing from this virus and all that. So we want to let people know that our hearts and our prayers are with them in their time of grief. Of course, you know, my grandmother's death is still fresh to me, even though she didn't die from the coronavirus or nothing like that. But, you know, it's still, her memory still burns in my brain and all that. So we just want to let you know that our hearts and our prayers are with you. But I want to get to that subject right now that you just brought up. Why do you think women have a big problem with telling their age? Why do you think that is so?
I don't know. I'm not a woman, so I can't even answer that one for you.
I'm just curious too for women that's out there. What is the big deal about telling your age? You know, I know every woman is not like that, but the majority of women hate to bring their age into play.
Because you know what, men, they say you look better as you get older. And we feel like women aren't supposed to get older. You know, you become an old hag or something.
That's you know what, you might be right about that. It's a superficial reasons and stuff behind women.
I've never I'll keep my mouth shut.
What? No, go ahead.
Nah,
Come on, man. You ain't never held nothing up before.
I'm just saying. I usually like young chicks. When I say younger chick, I mean somebody that's not my age. You know?
Mm. So, so what's wrong with dating a chick that's close to your age or whatnot?
It's not that she looked old or anything like that. It's like by the time she hit my age, so many men that ran through her. Her attitude is so messed up. For getting cheated on, get used up. And then you get her, she ain't no good no more.
You know what? But every woman, I mean, it's women that take care of themselves,
I
and
didn't say looks has nothing to do with it.
I'm just saying. But it's women that I didn't say now. I said some women just take care of themselves and they age gracefully and you can't even tell you can't even really tell their age. So it's
I'm not talking about how they look, like their age is bad or anything like that. I'm talking about their whole mentality from dealing with different guys. They just not the same.
but
They a little bitter.
do you think that goes for the majority of women or just
Look, I just say the majority of the women that I have met.
oh,
I'm
okay.
sure all women aren't like that, but the majority of the women that I have met, kind of bitter. They sit up on Facebook, dress up little dogs like people, and drink wine, and say I don't need a man for nothing.
You know what and that's another question. I think, can women actually now sit back and really actually complain about men when it seemed like they really setting the bar too, catching up with us as far as cheating and all of that? And but I think for years now that women been on an even plateau with men when it comes down to cheating and breaking hearts and
Oh yeah, that's all I know about is rotten no good women cheating. I was a rotten no good cheater, but all the women I met, they was rotten no good and they was cheating too.
yeah, that's the sad part about it though. But hey, but people will say that men deserve it. Do you think karma plays into the way a woman comes back and well, just say I ain't gonna just simply put it on a woman. Just when a person gets hurt, do you think karma plays a lot into it? Would you buy that?
Karma has something to do with the way you behave and the way you treat people, and it's coming back on you. And I would rather a woman just leave me than cheat on me.
But
Just leave me.
yeah,
Cause ain't nothing like the heart being broke. You like,
and you know what? And that's the hard part, cause I had my heart broke a couple of times,
did you
and
cry?
and then you know what? You always ask that stuff. You must love crying. You must be a crybaby,
There's
dude.
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with a little
And
crying every
you
once in
know
a
what? You
while.
know what? I didn't do the all that bull crap,
You
but
did a silent cry.
you know, I didn't do all that bull crap, but it's but the hardest part is that is like because in the past, remember when we was out here doing our dizzo, we didn't understand the hurt part at first with what women was talking about when you invest your time into someone and you like and then to find out that they wasn't true and you be like you like damn I done wasted all this time with you. I done invested my love and tried to
Yeah,
prove my
yeah.
love to you and you just
You
went
feel like you don't wasted time with somebody. That's the worst feeling in the world.
oh man.
Do you know how old you were the first time you cheated?
Um, shoot, I, I told you my first uh only real relationship at the time was with my son mother.
How old was you, man?
So I was like 20s, in my 20s.
You don't know how old you was?
I can't give you a specific man. I used to drink 40s, man. What's wrong with you? I ain't gonna remember none of that. But shoot, it's a specific time. But I know I was in my 20s.
How did you feel the first time you ever cheated? How did you feel?
I had no conscience.
You didn't care?
I had no conscience. I could have listened to it as we lay and still didn't have no conscience.
I can remember the first time I ever cheated. I felt horrible, man. I couldn't believe I cheated. You know how old I was the first time I cheated? I was like 25 years old.
Wow.
And I cheated, man. And I just sat on the edge of the bed in disbelief, and I was hurt.
Wow.
But the second time I cheated with her, I wasn't hurt no more.
You know what? Because men we drive off a different like mechanism. Most of us are some men are just as emotional as women, but the majority, the manly type man, we find justifications to do what we do, and we talk to our spirit with it, like, and convince ourselves not to feel bad about certain things, even though we might do.
But what's really crazy about that? I've never cheated sober.
but let's say this.
I cannot cheat sober.
But let's say this. If it entered your mind, it entered your mind already to cheat before you even got drunk.
No, what I'm saying is, I could never lay with another woman and be sober. Like it ain't gonna happen. So because I wanted to do it, I would get drunk.
Wow.
Drunk me is something else. He don't give a damn. Everybody fine. He'll sleep with anybody. But that sober guy, oh no. I wouldn't cheat.
I wanna put this out. If anybody wanna comment on any of these topics, that number is 646-564-9728. Make sure you press 1 if you want to comment. Man, you know what? And that's the type that really gets you. Women are more smooth with their cheating. They know how to do things, the correct way. We push the envelope, dog. We do things that don't even make no sense. We know, like, let's say when we know we shouldn't do certain things, like you might take a guy that woman has a suspicion that he's cheating, and he know, maybe I should chill today. Maybe I should just chill today and just be around my woman and not, do a certain thing. But nah, I gotta go see my such and such today. I gotta go do it. And then he'll go over there and not paying attention to what he doing, especially if he drinking. And he might get tailed over there by his woman, or he'd do some stupid thing, butt dial his woman. When you drunk, you get to, people do stupid. You end up doing something stupid, and you leave traces to yourself.
What's the dumbest thing you ever did to get caught cheating?
When I had I had the numbers, and I took and I used to have them from my then girlfriend. I took them and I used to tape them inside the air vent of my car. And one day I turned the air vent on, and all the numbers came flying out the air vent. And I was like, and they was hitting her in the chest. Bloom, bloom, bloom. and she
Did you
saw,
ask for the numbers back?
and she had, hell, man, you crazy? Yeah, so that was one of the stupid
Yeah.
things I did.
Let me tell you about what happened when I was cheating one day, right? So me and the chick I was cheating with, we was on my way back to my pad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Me in the car, I'm ready to get it on. I'm like, yeah, this is a new one. I ain't even hit yet. So I'm almost to my house, and guess who passed me by?
Cool. Oh,
My,
oh.
my girlfriend. And we caught eyes. We locked the eyes with each other, but she didn't see old girl sitting in my passenger car because I had this big old Cadillac, big old school 1975 Fleetwood Cadillac.
Oh, oh.
And she seen me. I looked in the rearview mirror, and I seen her whip around, to get behind me. Man, I started driving like 100 miles per hour. And the old girl was in the car. She's like, "What's going on?" I said, "I see that guy. I owe him some money. I gotta get out of here."
You stupid. You stupid, man. But anyway,
So my girl kept trying to call me. I cut my phone off.
mm-hmm.
This during the time only a few people had cell phones. This is back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I cut my phone off. So I talked to her later on, and she said, "I saw you. I kept trying to catch up with you, but you was driving all fast." I said, "I didn't even see you." And
Yeah,
then old girl thought, "You can't be owing the people money in Detroit." I was like, "Yeah."
but I'm wondering, like anybody out there that what was your stupid cheating moment? I know people, people want to try to run a game and be like, I ain't never cheated. Come on now. I think everybody had a cheating moment at some point in their life. I don't think everybody just started off like I'm innocent. I don't do nothing. You could cheat in your mind too, though. You could cheat in your mind. So hey, I just think everybody had that moment. I think being good and bad is a learned behavior. I do.
I think being bad is inside 100 proof vodka.
Stop, man.
Really, it is. I'm telling you, some tequila. Oh man, 240s of ours and some tequila. Oh shit.
Off to the corner. They've got plenty of people messed up, and I think too them moments. See, drinking at the time too with cheating, you just make so many bad decisions, and some of you
I'm
just
sure
can't,
that's why a lot of people got kids out here.
and you just can't go back
A
from.
bad
I think
decision.
I think I'm gonna tell you one thing that actually when drinking actually saved me from a stupid decision. Um, I was I was messing with this chick, and her girlfriend was digging me too, and so her girl called me to to mess get with me later that night, and I ended up she got off at a different hour, like real late, so I went out drinking, you know, because she told me get a fifth of such and such, blah blah blah. I'll be over there, blah. So I got to drinking, and I actually passed out and missed the phone call and all that, and it saved me from doing some stupid stuff.
Yeah, I can remember going out to cheat, and my stupid butt went over to the girl house sober,
Mm,
and she started getting undressed, and I tried to cheat sober, and
mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it. I was like, man, I got to get out of here. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I was saying I had to get out of there because I had to get to the store, get me a half pint of something, because I knew I couldn't cheat sober. I mean, I couldn't cheat sober. And I always was like that, man. I could never cheat sober.
Mm. See,
And then when I got started getting a little older, and I started to even cheat drunk when I was drinking, I would sit at the edge of the bed and start be feeling real bad. I'm like, what is wrong? What is this feeling that I'm getting?
let, let me ask you, and I'm gonna ask for everybody that's listening too. Do you think once a cheater, always a cheater?
Nah, I don't.
Uh, well, do you think it's any degrees of, let's say, let's say, any degrees of cheating? Do you think it's uh, top cheaters and just you know?
Nah, I think like when you cheat, right before you cheat, if you ask yourself this one question: is it worth me losing what I got? Because if you get caught, you can lose what you have.
Hmm.
So it's better be worth it. If it ain't worth it, take your butt home.
And that's the thing too. Yeah, you definitely because you do have things that, and that's not saying I'm glad I'm more mature now as far as doing that because I couldn't see myself stepping out now. With you, of course, people gonna say, yeah, you gonna say that because you're married and you do it a show and you better say it. But actually, I have more fear of the Lord, of making, being in wrong standing with God than actually, of course I care about my wife, but I have a higher obligation, as far as cheating, to God. I want to be right by him and I want to be right by my wife. So that's two things that keep me grounded as far as cheating. Some people don't care about it. It's some pastors out here that will cheat and some
Yeah,
deacons.
I think it's all about like even in my situation with the drinking, it's all about putting yourself in certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a long time ago. It's certain situations that I just don't put myself into. To be in a house with somebody and be drunk,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you set yourself up for some disaster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nothing but a bad situation could come out of that.
And even now, just being in ministry now, if I feel that a interaction or something was kind of foul, I feel bad about it. But I don't never try to put myself in a situation where things are look bad for me. You know what I'm saying? So because it's so easy for people to misconstrue what's happening, especially uh, I was one of the first things that I was taught as a man of God was to never ever meet with someone of the opposite sex by myself. So it was always taught, to me to, be mindful of that because you don't want that scrutiny on you. You know.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of men aren't taught when they're little. Like that's something that you should be teaching your son. Like, look, son, don't put yourself in certain situations for somebody to even try you
Mhm. Yep.
because they're gonna try you. Like, if you got a girlfriend, her friends they're gonna try you.
Yep. Especially if she got some, because 9 times out of 10, we all got that friend that's not up to standards. We.
Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Like, before you was married, Any of the chicks friends ever tried to hit on you?
Yeah, plenty times. I
See,
gave you the one scenario that happened, and it shocked them. It shocked the mess out of me when it had, when it happened, because I was like, dang, I was like, and in my head, I was thinking to myself like, you ain't shit. That's how I was
hey,
thinking, you know.
dig this. This what happened to me. I couldn't believe it. I'm at old girl house and her roommate.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I left the bathroom door open. I'm using the bathroom. Her friend gets up, walk by the bathroom door, see me use the bathroom, and just stands in the door looking at me smiling. I said, "What the hell?"
Damn. See, see, that's what
And
that's.
then another one of her friends stopped at my house after work and said, "Well, I got off work late. You mad if I use your shower?" I said, "What the hell?"
See, and see the way it happened with the case with me. Uh, I went up and I shook the girl's hand. I was saying what was up, and she was like, so she grabbed she held on to my hand. Was like, dang, I wish these hands was on me. And I was like, damn, for real. And so it was, it was one of them scenarios. So I was like, all right. And, but like I said, I'm glad that things happened where I didn't I didn't stoop to that level. But like I said, I think, like I said, my obligation to God and just knowing that God has blessed me with something that that is too precious to me to just give up. Because we can surrender our own blessings. You know what I'm saying? If God, because think about it. How many? No, you said you always dealt with the latter. So I can't. Damn, I can't even mess with you with those scenarios with that. So it's nobody in your life that you just.
What kind of person can you be? You dealing with a dude that only sees you when he's drunk. That tell you what kind of women I messed around with. Because like most of the women that I mess with, I never messed around with them sober.
Mm,
Like, cause I wouldn't get along with them.
mm.
I don't like hood rats. I don't like loud chicks. None of that.
Me either.
I'm a mild mannered cat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. That's me too. I don't. I never could take loudmouth women. I was never per se a fan of real very aggressive women. I was never a fan of that, because I'm an alpha male. I don't, so if a woman is trying to be more alpha than I am, then that's kind of like a
So
problem.
so so that means you never had a threesome, huh?
Nah, I never dabbled in that. You know, hey, man, what's wrong with you, man? Nah, I don't do that.
It's
Nah,
good, man.
I was just a young boy, still playing with my toys. No, man, I never been a fan of that, man. Never.
That's
Yeah.
good, man. That's good.
Even in college when some of the dudes was doing it up there, man, I just couldn't. That
Nah,
wasn't.
I ain't know nobody else doing that.
Nah, I just couldn't. I couldn't do
I'm saying I can't name one person
you
that had enough women to do that.
you hey, but anyway, man, I want to get to our main topic of the day, man. Something wrong with you, dude. Uh, and what's so funny? We didn't even really get into the topics that I wanted to get into, but it's all good. But our main topic today: are we all prejudiced to a degree? And I would concur with that. I don't think it's well. I think it is by design. I would say that it's natural for all of us to kind of like cling to our own race, to vote, to always vote for our race to be on top, and all that.
But do that make you racist?
No, no, I said prejudice. It's different.
Does that make you prejudiced?
You know, I think when it comes down to when you start looking at color, I think it's a thin line with prejudice, because I think, I would love to live in a world where we don't look at color.
But the crazy thing about what you saying that is majority of the times black people we'll feed into that and say, look, you shouldn't judge people by color. The problem is the other people don't think that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we're so quick to to embrace other races, but they don't embrace us back.
Right, right.
We accept them in our community. They'll come in, change the whole landscape of the environment, but we can't go over there without the police being called on.
Wait a minute. Ronnie said, I don't know if it's my phone, but I can never hear y'all. But yeah, I think we are to a degree, but most of blacks was not taught to hate or dislike other races of people. I think hate was just inbred in us. You know what I'm saying? Because
hate for what?
I think when he talk about, I think the hate causes the division. Like what?
But it's the hate. I mean, who's got the hate?
Yeah,
majority of black people, we don't have the hate.
I know. It like naturally, like I'm just saying, it's that's why I said for us it's more natural for us to, because all the stuff that's been done to our people, I think that's what really causes us to be like try to cling more to each other and be like, hey, even when we like when stuff go wrong, like the Kwame situation, for instance, like even though he might have did some couple of things, we'll take a person that, let's say, if the police kill Ray Ray, a man, and all them like that, and we know Ray man, them history with cops and stuff like that, we'll cling to Ray and Baby now, in a heartbeat, even though, and then we'll try to paint them like, hey, Ray wasn't doing nothing, but we don't know Ray Ray's interaction or what, exactly happened, but we'll be so quick to take, Ray and Baby and them side. Not speaking on any other incident, not, as far as what happened in the news in Minnesota and stuff like that, but sometimes our prejudice make us support, let's say, the wrong actions.
You learn by your past. It's not like people are like that for no reason.
Yeah.
We're suspicious of the police and the law, the judicial system, and all that shit for a reason. Mm-hmm. Because they do us grimy, they do us wrong.
Yeah.
They do us unfairly. We're not like that for no reason. It's a reason why we're like that.
So, let me ask this, and I'm trying to ask this without sounding like a Clarence Thomas or Clarence Thomas or what's her name? What's the chick name?
Stacey
Dash. Yeah.
Okay.
So do you think most of the interactions with the police could have been, let's say, could have not happened if a different action could have took place, like, maybe because I know most people stands against the police could always be like, what the hell you pulled me over for, what such and such, what do you think?
I don't. I think the police, like the cases that I've seen on the news, they were like 100% wrong.
Oh,
I'm talking about it's nothing that anyone could say or do for you to take their life.
okay. What
Period.
wait a minute, I got another comment from Margaret. Said, I'm not prejudiced, but I feel as far as marriage, we should stick to our own race because if children are born into mixed relationships, they might be treated differently by other children and some adults also. You know, I, my thing always kind of been a little bit. I kind of had some strong feeling about uh things like that sometimes, but I always felt like I wanted to personally me. I wanted to marry a woman that could relate to my struggle, you know. Uh, so I was never, you know, I think because we black men we go through different things, and I think our woman should be able to relate to the struggle that we're going through. Not knocking people, that mix relationships and stuff like that. I think love is love. I think love is remarkable. But hey, if you could find somebody inside or outside your race, that's fine and dandy. But you know what I'm saying. But I just said with me, what was always my personal, preference when it came down to it. What about you?
You gotta you gotta have something in common with the person,
Yeah,
with the other person.
and that's what it's all about.
Um,
Do that
I'm talking
sound
about,
racist?
I don't care how the body is looking, any of that. At the end of the day, y'all gotta have that conversation with each other. Because
Yeah.
I'd have been in that situation. The woman with the banging body, but she was dumber than a bag of rocks.
you know,
You
do
know
do that sound racist to a degree?
what?
As far as not wanting to marry outside of your race, or
No, I'm talking about if I have nothing in common with you, or there's nothing we can talk about. How's that being racist?
I just wonder.
That's being truthful. And I'm sure it's like it's a white woman or a Indian woman or whatever. She might be able to relate with you, but none of them been able to relate to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't relate well with hood rats. I don't
Mm-mm.
get along with hood rats.
Okay,
Like we just don't mix.
okay, let's say this. Let's turn to this type of chapter. Like kind of like the outline that I got up there. Is it is it kind of like prejudice for us to kind of like put the, let's say, the racist label on all, we just go talk Caucasian wise. Like we know that there's different, like there's a different disparity in between the races. Like we know that Caucasians got an edge on us as far as, financially, educationally, as far as they go to, they they got to jump on us financial wise because they got a financial base and all of this and that. So is it prejudice for me to say, man, I can't stand these white, they that this white, all this white privilege and all that. They got the courts, they got such and such. Is that me spreading hate, or is it, or is it
Are
just,
you just saying that?
huh?
Are
Yeah,
you I'm saying, would you hating white people? Say you that old black man that just hate white people.
Yeah.
What can you do to change their life to make it worse because of the way that you feel?
Nothing.
Nothing. So how can you be racist? You nobody.
Isn't racism an ideal?
No, but racism is when you have that
When you have
supervisor or that
yeah,
manager that's make your life a living hell or not giving you that promotion
right,
because you're black.
right, right. Well,
That's not renting that place out to you because you're black. That's somebody showing the
basically
authority and the
somebody
power
that
that
has
they
the
have over you
power,
right there.
power and authority. But
Yeah.
okay, but that's why I said prejudice is a different. Prejudice is an ideal. Being prejudiced is an ideal. I think racism could be.
What? Look up the definition of racist prejudice. And tell me what it is. What did they say?
I don't have my other phone or computer on. But wait a minute, I'm gonna read this comment from Margaret again. It says, "I have mixed grandchildren, and they really had problems with Caucasian race all through school, even when they went away to college. And I think that's the thing when when whites kind of like when they see uh blacks that are kind of like outspoken as far as racial disparities, I think they really don't understand uh what we're communicating, all the things that we, because it's easy for them to say, "Oh, that stuff happened years ago, this and this and that," but y'all keep plastering it in our face. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep flashing these things. I remember in Northwood, man, going to Northwood, um, when I can't stand when Caucasians try to be sarcastic when it comes to the disparities, and they be like, what, like, or try to be, what up, dog? Remember that? What up, dog? And all this and that, like a
See,
mockery.
the difference between me and you was I grew up seeing that stuff before I
Yeah,
went away
yeah,
to
yeah,
college. I
yeah,
went I had experience with white people not really liking you or they just trying to act black when they're around black people.
yeah,
And it comes off real crazy.
yeah, yeah.
I had experienced that already. So that was nothing new to me. Period.
It's
But being prejudiced, I think can black people be prejudiced? Yeah. Anybody can be prejudiced.
yeah.
But being racist is that uh, being racist is that control
So
over somebody's life.
so let me ask you this: Do you think being prejudiced is natural? Do you think that's a natural thing, especially what our experience in America is? Do you think that's natural for us?
Um, I think everybody have some prejudice in them. Like, have you ever been driving and a fat person pull you over? You like this, you fat B. You in the car, you know, or a white person uh, almost run to your car like these stupid white people.
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Like I, cause I listen to the experiences of the older generation, and especially like my wife's grandfather. He was born in Meridian, Mississippi. So his brother, my wife told me his brother was actually lynched by the Klan, and so his natural reaction, you could never bring that situation up to him. it'll make him his eyes whelp and all that. So you could never mention. And I think to this day, I mean, well, he passed now, but I think all his life, like he always had a thing against white people, and it was just his experience. But can you blame somebody like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's his experience, man. Just like you might have a white person that got robbed by a black person, and after that they say all black people all they do is rob, steal, and kill. But you know you're black. You never robbed anybody before.
Yeah, but you know what? I think their experience was a little bit different than ours because think about it. They were military men and they fought like both our grandfathers. My grandfather had a brother that was killed by a white person who hit him in the head with a rock and killed him, and he was never charged by it. And one of the things too, they fought in the army during a time where it was segregated. So they sitting there fighting for a country and being treated worse than the enemy they fought. And it was, so it's sort of different for them, and their experiences, translate over to us. And then every like Martin Luther King Day, every Black History Month, we gotta watch on TV how our people were treated, and then we look in this era, and we're seeing blacks getting gunned down and the cops putting their knee in the people's neck and killing them and this and that. And then we think to ourselves, hey, that could be me, that could be my son, that could be my cousin, my nephew, or anything. So do you think that plays more, like gives us a rite of passage to be prejudiced more than any other race?
Rite of passage.
A rite of passage. Yeah.
To be prejudiced?
A green light. Just a green light.
Everything is about experience. Like your grandfather, brother, the experience that he had, he shared it with his kids and his nephews, and it make it not to tell you those things for you to be prejudiced, but he might tell you those things to let you know to watch out.
Yeah.
This can happen to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going on with a lot of the young people. You see them struggling or wrestling with the police or talking stuff, and they end up getting shot and killed. And I'm like, who talking to these young kids? Nobody. Because no matter what's going on, there's still a white dude that don't like black people with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna tussle with him? You can look. I know this. You don't tussle with nobody with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Yeah.
Any day.
Yeah. That was a good Ice Cube song too. But look.
I got that from a book, man. What are you talking?
Look. But okay, let's look a little bit to today, and we would talk about like the little protest that happened downtown Detroit. What was more your take on that scenario? What was
this is how I really feel about those protests. Let's have those protests in the white part of Rochester. Don't come tear my damn city up, killing people and putting us on the news. Just like in Minnesota, they have those protests. No, don't do that stuff in my neighborhood. Let's tear up your neighborhood. Because there's some people that they really do care about our cause, and they are standing with us with this injustice. But it's other people that just want to loot.
Yeah, and
but the bad part about it, they showing black people. It was more white people that were out there looting and protesting. but they
Mm.
only showing us out there when something goes wrong.
You know what? And for the most part of what I seen during that time was more like I didn't see really nobody getting unruly during that protest, but yet you had because I thought we had the right to peacefully assemble, you know, but at the same time, people say, okay, you got blacks and whites mixed in the crowd, and but mixed in the crowd right here, and we're protesting. Then we have several people arrested, but we have whites up in the Capitol with guns and AKs and stuff like that. Nobody arrested. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, no cop presence, no nothing came and told them, hey, we worried about this getting out of hand. Y'all got to move on. You know what I'm saying? So that's in a way is another way that when blacks kind of look at a scenario, we be like, we don't have the same experience that y'all have. We could do the same exact things, but we have different outcomes. Y'all still get to live. Y'all still get to keep your freedom. But we gotta go. We still going through similar stuff that we went through, that our ancestors went through in the 60s, 50s, and 60s. But it's legal lynchings and arrests.
Yeah, it's been a couple of days since we did a show, right?
Uh-huh.
And we need to talk about this right here. That woman that called the police on the black guy
In the
that was at the park.
swim at the swimming pool. In the
No,
swimming
at the
pool.
park. At the park.
Oh,
Because
oh, with the dog.
yeah.
Oh, with the dog, and that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? It that anger. See, stuff like that like angers me because it's enough. See, I understand you have some white people that are tired of white people stuff. Of what they most of these other whites are out here doing. You have them that's out here that's tired of it, and they like, man, like this is ridiculous. Like cut your privilege out. Remember, just recently on Facebook, uh, a lady went to a grocery store and they had a policy that you have to wear your mask. And did you see that one? You have to have
Uh,
your mask in the store. And this lady was like, "I don't want to wear a mask. You're violating my rights. I need he's I have a medical issue, this and that. I can't wear." He said, "Well then, we'll shop for you." Well, I have personal things that I want to grab that I don't want nobody. And instead of just accepting, look, the grocery store that is privately owned. It's not something they can set their rules, but rules seem to be the problem for the privileged white person, and that's the thing that really get me. And then the woman, and when they only called out about it, that's when they get remorseful and stuff like that. Like that woman, she got now that she got fired from her job and she got caught on camera screaming, acting like this black man is doing something to her. Then you see what happened with Jimmy Fallon. They called him out for doing the blackface, Chris Rock. But that was years ago. Now everything coming to surface. Now we got Jamie Foxx standing up, defending him and all that. Wait a minute. Brandy said, "We're fed up. George Floyd was used as a start of a movement, same as Rosa Parks, but now everyone is tired of this." Hey, I just think if you go on full scale revolution, you better really, 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 really know what you doing and really have
I hear people saying people are tired of this, but what laws are you changing? What what are you changing? Period. Behavior. But stop shopping in certain places. Stop buying certain things. Nobody's gonna change,
Right.
and that's the problem. I'm talking about this is gonna die down.
Right.
It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be just like the riots that was in California,
Mm-hmm.
just like the riots that was in Highland Park. Highland Park used to be beautiful. Those riots in '60s destroyed it, and it never came back after that.
Mm-hmm. It should have
What are they gonna do?
the riots. Detroit been down for so long. The riots destroyed Detroit. Detroit used to be so beautiful.
Nah, but I'm saying, but what are people? What are you gonna change? I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of that, and I'm sick of people. People calling the police on us. And we just at the park. How about we beautify our own parks? Don't go to their parks.
Yeah. And let me
We
let,
ain't gotta live in their neighborhoods.
let me
Let's make our neighborhoods beautiful and make our neighborhoods a place where we want to live.
right. Let me read this one comment. Margaret says, "Peacefully assembling is fine, but why tear up the city you live in? When it's all said and done, that's where you live, and you're going to have to look at it and complain about the mess. Why not do it decently and in order?" Yeah.
But why? But why is that any topic? Period. It should be about that man losing his life. F that. I'm about to cuss. Fuck that. People tearing up the city and messing up business. I don't think it's right. I think that's stupid. Don't tear up your own community.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Then
But still, don't make if you're gonna make a statement about the injustice that's going on.
okay.
Don't let them change the
The
whole
narrative.
narrative.
Yeah.
The narrative.
Well, well,
Period.
well let
And
me.
that's what they're doing, and they're letting us do it. We're judging ourselves. Okay, now we're judging ourselves. We ain't talking about what they doing to make these people so upset that they would tear up a store that they live in.
Right.
Nobody, if then everybody else stop talking about that man losing his life that way,
Right.
then
Right.
the same thing will happen again.
Right. Right.
And that's my problem with our people. A lot of times we start talking about something that switched up the whole story.
Right.
Black
Right.
on black crime. Now people start saying people they start to say something that I knew all the time, all the time. People usually kill people the type of people that they're surrounded with. White people kill other white people
Yeah.
that they live. They don't say that's white on white crime,
Right. 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 Right.
but when they say it's black on black crime, that justifies the reason for them killing us
I agree.
or policing us.
I agree. I agree. But
You see what I'm saying?
I
Oh, they should be rioting and tearing up their own community. Okay, but that's not, what are we talking about? Now when you start saying stuff like that, you stop talking about the reason why we're so angry and
mm,
upset, the way we're being treated. That's why
mm-hmm.
people are going crazy, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We got
90 seconds.
yeah, we got a minute and so to go, and I had something in my mind. You know, when you get your bag, you be forgetting what to say. And it was something very valid that I had to say. So, okay, what would you say would be an effective method? Because we see marching don't work. We see
60 seconds.
we see peaceful protests don't work, and we got to answer this less than six. Peaceful protesting don't work. What would be your method?
My method would be hurt them in the pockets. Hurt them in the pockets. Let's spend our money with us.
Okay. Well, I'll say this.
Nothing else works. Only thing that gets their attention is when you start messing with their money.
Oh yeah, and believe me, they losing a lot of money right now. They losing a lot of money right now. But anyway, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show tonight. we touched on some real powerful
10 seconds.
things, but y'all be safe out there and give glory be to God and just give God the glory and continue to pray for each other and pray for the family of the young man. We up out of here, y'all. Peace.